visiting Frederick Cougars. Number 5, Alan Oliva Antunes. Number 9, Omar Aguilar. Number 11, Praise Nagama. Number 12, Nicholas Gusman. Number 14, Joshua Ames. Number 15, Jason Shirerzar. Number 21, Oscar Torres. Number 24, Angel Diaz. Number 27, Jefferson Mendez. And starting in goal for the Cougars is 00, Casey Cutshaw. The Cougars are coached by Terry Hall and assisted by Jarrett. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your CCBC Essex Knights. Number 1, Brian Duran Escobar. Number 2, Jonathan Izagiri. Number 5, Tom Schroeder. Number 10, Renosuke Noda. Number 11, Angel Vargas Hernandez. Number 17, Zachary Entwistle. Number 18, Diego Ventura. Number 20, Zen Shimano. Number 21, Rio Mayama. Number 33, Alvaro Acosta. And starting goal for the Knights, number 55, Jacob Peace. The Knights are coached by Joe Fiedler, assisted by Omar Bukar, Buck Stewart, and Kobe Crone. Ladies and gentlemen, here at CCBC Essex, we invite the spirit of sportsmanship because it's an important component of being a student athlete. We ask that for any use profanity, let all spectators remain positive in cheering the team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the castle here at CCBC Essex, or welcome back to the castle here at CCBC Essex for some of you joining us once again. This is game number 2 of our doubleheader here between the Frederick Cougars and your CCBC Essex Knights. Thank you once again to you guys for joining us live here on YouTube, your home for all of the Knights home games all season long. And another big thank you to the Mixmaster, the MC Austin Johnson, starting us off here with the starting lineups for the Cougars and the Knights doing battle here under the lights and giving these fans hopefully something to be happy about. The Knights, that's the plan, as they are looking for the clean sweep of the Cougars here today, as the Knights women's team got a huge 10-0 victory. It was their first victory of the season. What a huge way for them to finally get into the W column this season. And the Knights men's team, well, a couple more wins on their side, but really kind of the same story. Not the start of the season that they were looking for. Coach Fiedler's team 3-2 on the year, still that shiny number 10 next to their name. And they certainly have earned that, but they've also done a little to earn the slide in the rankings as well. Knights are 2-1 this season at home and 1-1 in neutral play. And they will start with possession as they have that ball for a moment on the throw-in deep in their offensive zone. Whistle away from the ball will send things back a ways, but it will also switch possessions as it's hot potato in the first 30 seconds here. Knights, their 3-2 start, maybe not the start that they were looking for, but man, oh man, that looks like a beautiful start compared to where the Cougars are sitting right now in the season. 0-3. Coming into this one, I should say 0-3-1. They are actually coming off their best result of the season, a tie in their last game. As we see another whistle away from the ball, this time once again, let me try that again. A whistle again away from the ball on the Knights, but this time giving possession to the Cougars in a pretty good spot as they elect for possession at the midfield. Able to connect a few passes up into their zone, but Stonewall defensive effort on both sides so far. Oh my, that Stonewall effort continues, as that was a pickpocket play from Oscar Torres. Outside backer for the Cougars with a strong defensive play. Possession still with the Knights, but only for a moment. Swing and a miss from Zen Shimano. Feeling out process underway here between these two teams. Who's going to grab that early momentum? In game number one between these two programs' women's teams, the Knights grabbed that early momentum and never looked back. So the same song and dance here today in game number two, as afternoon has turned to evening. And sooner than later, evening will be turning to night, as we see a nice flick over the head, but to a dangerous spot as the Cougars are there to the 50-50. And Peace makes his first save of the day on the shot, coming from, I believe, Samuel Mendez. 50-50 ball won by the Cougars, as both players had someone heading in the direction of the ball with a full head of steam. Speaking of full head of steam, the Knights trying to head into the zone with a full head of steam. Instead, it's an offsides flag. Cougars defense catches the Knights with a hand in the cookie jar. Dangerous spot after the retouch, though, as the Knights are able to take advantage. Grab possession for themselves. Defense to offense with some urgency. One pass, two pass. Oh, in towards the middle, but wow, they still got it off. I was about to say just too far out in front of its target, but somehow the Knights still getting the shot off, but into the net, behind the net. Knights get their first good look at offense, but still searching for their first shot on goal. 50-50 ball won by the team in the white jerseys once again, and walking the tightrope on the far sideline. And that through ball certainly well in front of its target. Easy save for double zeros. Casey Cutshaw, keeper for the Cougars. Cougars not only coming into this game with a tough trend on their season right now, but a tough trend against this Knights team. 0-2 going back over the last two seasons, as they sneak one, almost passed on the far post, and then again on the near post. Two quick shots. Two quick saves. 5 minutes in, the Knights have grabbed the momentum. Came awfully close to grabbing the game's first lead. Casey Cutshaw diving one way and then immediately having to dive back the other, as he is moving laterally very quickly. Knights are moving the goalie around. It's usually a recipe for good things. The offense in rhythm to start things. As I was saying a moment ago, Cougars 0-2 against this Knights team going back over the last two seasons. Actually, 3 matchups total against them last year, three total matchups against this team going back over the 2 seasons, as they met in the playoffs last year as well. But nothing but shutouts, as it's a 3-0 victory for the Knights in the 2024 Region Championship, a 3-0 victory before then, and then a 4-0 victory back in 2023. No matter who's in goal, Cougars cannot solve it when they go up against Coach Fiedler's squad. Coach Fiedler's got all the answers to this Cougars team, and more than happy to share it, as we see a whistle for some of the rough stuff for the first time going against the Cougars. Knights, short kick. Looking for possession, looking to switch fields. Space in front. Two-man game developing. Oh, putting on the brakes beautifully. Got the defense moving laterally now. The goalie seeing it clearly. Catching it. No chance for a rebound. Knights knocking on opportunity's door once again, though. All of that starting with a good, solid touch from number 7, Felipe Oliveri. Felipe creating a chance for a teammate and then quickly moving in towards the middle of the field and was almost immediately rewarded for his effort moving without the ball. Soccer, basketball, hockey, all the best scorers know how to move without the ball. Get into scoring positions. Knights moving all around. What a save on the second effort. No, it's deflected in off the backside of a Cougars player. Effort gets you mighty far in life, and effort created that chance for the Knights. 3-4 players crashing in towards the goal. One of them rewarded with the game's first goal. We'll check the live stats and give you that update as soon as we have it. Zen Shimano. Number 20. Freshman forward from Japan. With a huge goal to start the scoring here at the Castle. Fans coming alive. 1-0 now on the big board. 5 shots into the game. The Knights get their first one. Searching for more now as the whistle once again goes against the Cougars. All the momentum on the side of the Knights. So they've grabbed an early tight grip on this game. Clearing pass deflected. Knights walk the tightrope on the near sideline, but quickly lose it. Here's an offensive moment for the Cougars. Trying to turn the corner. Space taken away, and so is the ball as they cannot sneak it on the weak side. Great team defense there on the recovery. Tom Schroeder cutting off the space, and then his friend Peacemaker making the save. Jacob Peace keeping the Knights up here in this one, but the Cougars grabbing a little mo for their side. Coming alive here as we approach 10 minutes played in the first half. And oh my, pickpocket play on the far sideline. Knights creating offense quickly. Two-man game developing. Now they'll slow it down. Oh, it's intercepted by the Cougars now. Defense to offense with some urgency. And the Knights will slow that down just a little bit. As really the defense never got a chance to turn to offense as they were cut off at the midfield line. Again, good, strong recovery defensively. Knights caught flat-footed, but only for a moment as they turn the Jets on. Bouncing ball. Bouncing between the two teams. Cougars win the initial 50-50. Try and switch fields, but it's intercepted by number 21, Ryo Mayama. Two teams on the seesaw here with possession as the Cougars' body language and intensity, easy for me to say, has picked up here after surrendering the early lead. They do not want to let the Knights build on this lead here as we see a couple of step-overs and the beginnings of some trickery once again from Felipe Oliveri. Could not center that pass in towards the scoring area. Instead, the Knights will have a look on the corner. Corner kick here for the Knights. Referee blows the whistle. This is for some of the rough stuff in the middle of the box. And referee throws up the X. We may be seeing our first card. Referee, just like all of us, just wants to see cooler heads prevail. Gives the two players a stern talking to. Let's play on. Corner kick, here it comes, and that is right into the hands of the goalie. Cutshaw makes the save, point blank, as the Knights did get a player on it. Could not sneak it past the goalie. And that is a whistle. And that may be our first official card. Just a minute later than we thought. Card will be issued to Angel Diaz of the Cougars. And here is an opportunity on a set piece for the Knights. "20 yards into their offensive zone. Setting up for something special, potentially. I'll try and place this in the middle. Can someone get underneath of it? Good placement. Cougars are there first, but they're not out of the danger zone just yet. And oh my, up and over. Dangerous play. Possession will go the other way with the Cougars, so little razzle-dazzle, but a tough fall at the end. All for none as the Knights will get back on their defensive high horse. Game looks easy. The game looks fun from where they are sitting as more and more of the rough stuff starting to pile up. The two teams colliding with one another now. And now another yellow, but this one issued to a Knights player. We had number 18, Ventura, over there. Not sure if he was the one given the card or not. We'll check the official live stats. If you're interested in the live stats as the game goes on, you can always find those at the CCBC, excuse me, let me try it one more time. You can always find those live stats at the CCBC Essex Athletics website. It's a mouthful, but it's also a page turner. Updates on the teams all season long. And of course, like I said, live stats for the games as they're going on. We always encourage you to come check out a game here at the Castle or live on YouTube. But if you can't do either, well, the information always on that CCBC Essex Athletics website. A little bit of a test after a long break defensively as the Cougars got that deep in their offensive zone. Knights get the clear, but only for a moment as the Cougars create another possession for themselves. Oh my, what a tackle on the far sideline. None shall pass. AVH. Angel Vargas Hernandez with a big tackle there, switching fields and grabbing some more momentum for the Knights. Angel, a sophomore midfielder from Gaithersburg, Maryland, flexing the muscles there. One touch on the cross. Oh, climbing the tippy top of the ladder for the touch on the head. But he needed someone to redirect the second effort. That ball pinballing in and around the offensive zone for the Knights, but no goal. It is still just A 1-goal game. The Cougars hanging around here as we approach 15 minutes to play, or 15 minutes played in the first half. What a beautiful pass there. Do not know who had the head ball, but Ryo Mayama, the freshman from Tokyo, Japan. A one-touch cross the field pass. Found the forehead of a teammate. Just too far out in front of the goal. Someone else was there for the Knights trying to redirect it into the back of the net. They mistimed the jump by half an inch. What could have been moment for the Knights? What might still be, as they are still very much in charge in this one. Cougars one strike away from getting this game back to even, but tough to find that strike when you cannot get possession of the rock. The possession numbers in the first 15 minutes, very lopsided here in this one. Oh my, blink and you missed it though. On the other side, Cougars quickly with the turnover, and they force the Knights into a tough spot where they commit the foul. And this is an opportunity for the Cougars. Just over 10 yards outside of the box. Free kick for the Cougars with a chance to tie this game up. Not a lot of opportunities on their side. Only 2 shots on goal in the game. Potential third could tie us up. Cougars have to get it over the 3-man wall. Instead, they get it under the wall. And they try and sneak it past Peace on the near side. He is ready. And he has made his 3rd save today. Knights, defense to offense quickly at the midfield. Over everybody's head, 50-50 ball. Who wants it? Hand fighting. I think the ref was playing for continuation. He was watching it, and everyone was waiting for a whistle. Oh my, around 1, a second, and cannot get the shot. Oh, the beginnings of something special, and the frustration written all over his face. Number 11, Angel Vargas Hernandez, showed off the defense earlier, almost showed off the spectacular offense there. Around 2 defenders with ease, but could not turn the corner for the shot, as the fans here at the Castle were ready to come up and out of their seats. A 1-goal lead is great. A 2-goal lead, even better. Knights are looking for it. Cougars, other ideas, trying to get this game back to even. Oh, splitting the defense and getting dragged down from behind. As this time it's the Cougars defense getting caught in a tough spot and being forced to commit the foul. Free kick for the Knights. Just under 10 yards into their offensive zone. Tom Schroeder, the 6'3" sophomore from Germany, will look to put every inch of his leg into this one. Oh, with effort, places it to a beautiful spot, but the Cougars are there first. Knights looking to turn the corner. Centering pass intercepted by the Cougars. As Schroeder pokes it away on the slide tackle, and that gives the troops enough time to get back onto the other side of the field. Cougars were going defense to offense with some urgency there. Had something brewing potentially. They'll have to find it in the half court, so to speak. Nothing's come easy for them offensively here in this game, so they'll try and find it however way they can. They'll have to work a little harder, as that one is a goal kick after a long run in towards the box. Knights again unable to turn the corner and look towards the goal. This time they're bumped off the ball completely. And I don't know, fans at home, if you could hear the moans and groans of the Knights section here at the Castle. They were waiting for something spectacular to happen there. On the edge of their seat, knowing that the Knights closer and closer to a big second goal here in the first half. Cougars, even break, beautiful through ball, he's offsides. And that is why there was so much space. It was too good to be true because indeed it was not true. Cougars, sighs of frustration. Knights, sighs of relief, or cheers of relief. Whichever perspective you take, whichever side you're sitting on. Cold hard truth of it is the breaks of the game continue to go the way of the Knights. And oh my, what great effort on both sides. Cougars sticking their nose right in the middle of the action, getting a possession for it. Under 25 minutes to play in the first half. Down, but certainly not out, as there's still plenty of time, and they're still just only one strike away from getting this game back to even. That one strike won't come there, as now the Knights are looking to switch fields. No such luck switching fields as it's sent back to Peace. Knights still searching for the clear. Working the ball around amongst the back line. Running into a little bit of a wall at the midfield. Bouncing around the wall here for a moment. Now trying to go over it, and it's offsides on the other side of the field. Cougars for the second time today, at least for the second time today, using that offsides flag as an extra defender. Knights working around with it on the far sideline. Possession will stay with them. Look back on the numbers coming into this game. Again, the Knights averaging just over 15 shots a game. Cougars on the other side averaging just over 8 shots a game. Doesn't seem like that much of a difference, but you look over there on the big board here at the Castle, 1-0, and then 6-3 in terms of shots on goal. The numbers coming into this one taking place, at least here through the first half. The story that we were expecting is being told, and around the goalie. Easy work for Ventura for number 2. Diego Ventura. 2 goals on the season coming into this one. That was good for a tie at the top. Well, he just broke the tie. His 3rd of the season is the 2nd of the day for the Knights. And a little breathing room now established here under the stars with 22 minutes and change left in the first half. Tough break there for Casey Cutshaw. He played that beautifully. Came out, dove at the ball, feet first, made himself as big and as wide as possible. Possession, 9/10 of the law, or at least it used to be. Ventura had the possession, made the most of it. 2 unanswered goals to start for the Knights, and now looking for a 3rd. Ventura tried to one-touch it over towards a teammate, or maybe to a space where he could go and get it. Comes off the foot awkwardly. Sigh of relief for the Cougars, as that means a change of possession. Chance to get out of the danger zone. Slide tackle at the midfield. But all it does is create a 50-50 ball. Cougars win it. They enter into the zone with possession. They've got a lot of white jerseys in front of them, but they skip a ball past almost all of them. Beautiful pass up the near sideline, almost finding room in the middle, and it's whistled dead, but it looks like it's going against the Knights. Indeed it is. Cougars with a mighty fine look here, right outside the box. Chance to cut into that lead. As we are at the halfway point of the first half, and this is a huge opportunity for the Cougars. 4-man wall set up for the Knights. Cougars went under the wall last time. They have 2 players set up by the ball now, and now the other 2 are leaving, so some certainty on the kick taker, number 27 for the Cougars. Jefferson Mendez. Will he try to go for the near corner? And he goes for the far corner, and it's intercepted before it even gets to the goal. What a job of timing the leg extension perfectly defensively. Stopping that ball right in its tracks. Keeping this game scoreless for the Cougars. As another missed opportunity goes by the way for them. This one does not even go down as a shot on goal. Working mighty hard to get that ball back, though. Knights quickly up into their zone. Ventura looking to turn the corner. And a little bit of a wrestling match ensues between Ventura and his defensive opponent in front of him. That looks like number 21, Oscar Torres, taking on Ventura. Ball rolls safely over the end line, so it will be a corner kick now for the Knights. Here comes the corner. Kind of go for that corner across the box to the entrance, and it does not work. Cougars saw it coming, sent it away. But right back on the merry-go-round, the Knights with possession as we approach 15 minutes left to play in the first half. And now this game starting to look like game number 1, at least a little bit. Oh, what a pass! Give and go! Into the box, needs one more pass. How about a trifecta? And he just goes wide. A beautiful passing display from the Knights. One after another. Just wide of the post. I was in the middle of saying this game mirroring the first game that we saw from the standpoint of the Knights. Grab the momentum early and have not looked back. It has been their game since the word go. Coach Fiedler wants to see more of the same here to close out this final 17 minutes and 30 seconds. And of course, he wants to see an even better effort in the second half as the ball comes off the foot of the defender for the Cougars, strangely. But he's able to recover nicely and make the tackle to slow down the offensive attack. Nicholas Gussman didn't go his way initially, but he made a nice solid tackle on the second effort. Gave the troops a chance to regroup. And they regroup and make the play as they send it over the end line, but certainly not out of the danger zone. Knights searching for goal number 3 now. Another corner kick. It'll be their third of the day. Is the third time the charm. Ventura is taking the kick right here in front of us from the near sideline. Here comes the kick. Good airtime on that. Probably wanted to put it a little bit in towards the middle more, but was riding a little up towards the entrance of the box. Nonetheless, he had a chance with a player right there to finish the job. Here's an opportunity on the second effort. What a save from Cutshaw. Sometimes when you play goalie, it's kill or be killed, and Cutshaw will live to see another day with the score just 2-0. Still a manageable game, but the Knights knocking on opportunity's door once again. Casey Cutshaw, the sophomore goalie from Walkersville, Maryland, by way of Walkersville High School. Who knows if he saw it or not? He made the save on a missile. Maybe another incoming missile here around the box. What a tackle! But they cannot get out of the danger zone. The Knights living in their offensive zone. Cougars buying a second of breathing room. A little mini clear, so to speak. 15 minutes left in the first half. The Knights dangerously close to a third goal. Beautiful pass. Covering a whole lot of space. Cougars not allowing that ball to get past them, though. Knights having to send it backwards, but more than happy to play keep away. They have established the pace, and the Cougars have been unable to answer. Oh, here's an opportunity. But it's the Knights' turn to stick their nose right in the middle of the action. Jonathan Izagara winning the 50-50 ball for the Knights there right in front of the midfield line, and now winning possession. Looking for the cross in towards the middle. Someone's there, but so is the goalie. Janor Cham, freshman midfielder from Lanham, Maryland, by way of Bowie High School, climbing up to the tippy top of the ladder. Got his head on that. Casey Cutshaw makes the save. Going one way, but having to dive back the other way once again with a tough save. What would this game be if it wasn't for Casey Cutshaw? 9 shots on goal in the first half for this Knights team. Cougars are down, but certainly not out. Being kept alive by a strong defensive performance. Can they find a little bit of room offensively? As we see a great effort on both sides. 2 players fighting for the ball. Effort plays like that for the Cougars. Part of why they're hanging around in this one. Keeping their comeback hopes alive. That and the 3 shots on goal that they do have were all quality shots. Jacob Peace, the starting keeper for the Knights. He hasn't been tested much, but when he has been tested, it has been a quality look. Cougars, through most of this first half, knew that they were 1 play away from evening this game up. Well, now they're 1 play away from getting this game back to a 1-goal game. It's got to start with 1. Can they find it? Or is it back-to-back shutouts for the soccer team here at the Castle? The Knights women's team, 10-0 victory over the Cougars in game one. The Knights men's team 12 minutes away from the beginnings of another shutout here in the nightcap. Of course, we are getting ahead of ourselves with questions like that. Still a lot of time left in this game. And we will see the end of it here. And you guys, second best seat in the house. I'd say the best seat in the house right here at the Castle. Great action on the turf. Delicious chicken sandwiches from our good friends at Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square. In the stands. Oh my, deflection, one-on-one. Two players coming from the back and they poke it away with the back check. Oh my, blink and you missed it. Some offense for the Cougars and the Knights not out of the danger zone yet. What a back check there coming from Angel Vargas Hernandez, I believe, poking that ball away just in the nick of time. Knights get to set up this time, and you see they are first to the ball. But all that is just another opportunity for the Cougars to do it again. This time more in the middle. Knights there first and second, but the 50-50 ball finally won by the Cougars. Keeping the pressure on for a moment. Good ball in towards the middle. Knights still searching for the clear. Peace picks it up after the block from Schroeder. Tom Schroeder may have grown up in Germany, but with a play like that, he is definitely an NFL fan as well. He turned into the fullback for his goalie as he just blocked the offensive player from allowing or getting to the ball. There's no stats for taking a good angle to the ball, but that is exactly what Tom Schroeder did and created an easy save for his goalie. Strong defensive play. Now under 10 minutes to play. Knights having to get back on the defensive side of the ball, but more than happy to do so as the defense, usually the calling card for Coach Fiedler's squad. Back and forth with possession as neither team able to hold on to a ball that's all of a sudden become very slippery. Cougars trying to find the clear, finding no such space initially. Eventually that ball rolled deep into their offensive zone, but not deep enough. The game of hot potato with possession continues. As Schroeder is there first to the deep pass with the head. Now the Knights once again looking for the clear. Somebody lost the shin guard out there. Knights switch fields. One pass. How about a second on the cross? Deflected off the heel and no one's there to put it home. Long run towards the other side of the field is an uneventful one for the Cougars, as they didn't have possession, numbers, or space there. Getting the cardio in, stretching the Knights out a little bit though. Getting stretched out on the other side as well as it's quickly back into the offensive zone. Ventura, one pass in towards the middle. No one's there to finish it. Another missed opportunity here for the Knights. Those are starting to pile up. And if the Cougars can get a late goal here in the first half, or maybe an early goal in the second half, start to look back on these missed opportunities, ask a little question, ask a couple of questions. So all of that will be erased if they can find one for themselves, the Knights. Beautiful centering pass, a player there ready to send it home, but the Cougars are there first for the clearing touch. Pressure once again for the Knights. Creating a turnover, creating a change of possession. Switching fields. Looking for an attacking lane here. Final 6 minutes of the first half. These two teams have almost played a full 40 minutes. Cougars are hanging around in this one, but this has very much been the Knights' game. Cougars have those 3 shots on goal and 2 corner kicks. And the 3 shots on goal were very, very good chances. Very, very quality looks. At least 2 of the 3 chances were real quality looks. But all for none, as it is a first half shutout so far here for the Knights. Cougars have been shut out by the Knights 3 games in a row leading into this one. So if they are unable to find a goal here in the next 5 minutes, that'll be 7 halves of soccer against Coach Fiedler's squad. In a 3-year stretch, 0 goals. Absolutely smothering defensive effort for this Knights team as Coach Fiedler continues to have the answers for just about every team that this Knights team goes up against. The hit machine continues to roll as oh, what a tackle! Crisscross tackle on the far sideline. Ventura showing off the defense. My, oh my, who said defense can't be exciting? That's going to find its way onto the highlight reel and, of course, onto the desk of a coach at a 4-year school somewhere. Coach Fiedler's squad, maybe not the start to this season that they were looking for with this 3-2 record coming into this one, but the goals still very much alive. Capture the division, capture the conference, capture the region. Punch another ticket back to the national tournament as we see the Cougars inching closer and closer to their first look at offense. What an effort play, trying to chase down the loose ball. But because the Cougars touched it last over there on the end line, what should have been a corner, I believe, ends up being a goal kick. But that was blink and you missed it offense for the Cougars. Defense to offense with some urgency. A beautiful pass in towards the middle. Just an inch short. What could have been moment there for the Cougars as they almost got that late first half goal they've been searching for. Oh my, blink and you missed it on the other side. And it's intercepted by the defensive line. The Knights were piecing those passes together up the field and then in towards the middle. The goalie looked like he was out of position, but the defensive backs were in perfect position to bail him out. And there is a flag on the far sideline. Will be offsides. And we hear the oohs and ahs. Never popular opinions. offsides flags. Tough breaks on both sides as both teams have been able to use the offsides call as an extra defender here today. And the Cougars look like they have really grabbed some momentum for themselves in the final 5 minutes. They have another possession. And they're getting close to goal number 1. How close? Maybe I spoke too soon, because now we're going the other way. Felipe walks the tightrope right in front of us here on the near sideline. Can he get around this defender? Oh, he has Torres touch the floor, and he's sent away by Cutshaw. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Got him touching the floor. Knights still searching as the Cougars rally and make the play in the final moments. They'll need to make another. Triangle game set up for the Knights. Couple of head fakes. They need one more pass. They'll find it, and it's wide of the net. Cutshaw and his mates cutting off the angle there on the near post. The Knights trying to squeeze it by on the short side. Coming up just a little short. Into the net, behind the net. And is that the last hoorah we see offensively for Coach Fiedler's squad as it's now under 30 seconds to play? These two teams looking forward to halftime for two very different reasons. Cougars. Bottom line, though, the comeback still very much alive. And they will have a chance to talk about it. What kind of adjustments do they make? Head coach Gary Hall will have 15 minutes to talk to his squad about some adjustments that they can make as they are being shut out here for a 4th straight game against the Knights. But their comeback hopes still very much alive as they played well enough to keep this game at a manageable 2-goal deficit. The Knights, they've got a chance to talk about it as well. Can they find a few more goals? Stick around with us and find out. Welcome back to the castle here at CCBC Essex, and saying welcome back for the final time here today as we are starting our final half of soccer. It has been a long day here at the castle for the fans, players, and all the event staff, but it has been a fun day as we saw a 10-0 victory for the women's soccer team here at Essex in game number 1, their first victory of the season. And we are halfway through maybe a potential second victory for the Knights and a second shutout of this Cougars team, as the men's squad here at Essex handling the business as well, looking to make it a clean sweep of the Cougars. Try and finish business with some style points here in game number 2. So of course, Coach Fiedler cares very little about the style points. He just wants to see his team get that 4th victory on the season. Tough sight in front of us as player is down. That's Ryan Suki. Noda, injured player for the Knights. Training staff will come on to the field. We'll take a break with the two teams. Be back when the action resumes. Action resumes here at the castle, and it is a tough scene here as training staff and the gator had to be used to get the injured player off the field. That was number 10, Ryan Tsuko Nota, sophomore midfielder from Shiga, Japan. Hope for a speedy recovery and to see him in the next contest here at the castle for this Knights team. Tough start to the second half for the Knights. 30 seconds in, losing a player potentially for the rest of the game, as we see a nice tackle right in front of us on the near sideline. Frederick on their heels for a moment as the Knights entering into their offensive zone. Be a 2-game road trip for this Knights team before they are back here at the castle. September 18th at College of Southern Maryland, and then the 20th of September at PG. As we see a nice pass up the near sideline. Now a centering ball in the middle. It's over the head of the Cougars players, and it's over the post. Almost goal number 3, as that was a beautiful pass into the box. My dad always said growing up, the pass prettier than the shot on that play, Pops. You're certainly right. A beautiful ball in towards the middle. I think that may have been AVH. Angel Vargas Hernandez. Fingerprints all over this one. No points on his side, though he came close to an apple there. and came close to a goal earlier in the first half. 3 minutes into the second half, Knights trying to get the scoring started here. Centering pass with a lot of side spin there. Moving away from the box. Hanging up in the air for quite some time and giving the Cougars defense a chance to recover, get into possession, or into position to eventually get the change of possession. Had the right idea placing that ball in the middle, probably just didn't get the strike they wanted. Cougars looking for the strike here and coming up well wide. Eyes got a little bit too big there, entering into the zone with just a little bit of space and trying to fire off a long distance shot. Tough to get those on net when you really can't set your hips into your shot. Tough break there for the Cougars, but a nice friendly roll over the sideline keeps possession on their side. They will look to build a little early momentum in the second half for themselves. Oh my, what an athletic play getting up to that ball, but the Cougars still able to secure possession. The score on the big board and time of possession may have been dominated by the Knights in that first half, but the Cougars were not without their chances, as they had 3 shots on goal total in the first half, and 2 of those 3 were real quality looks. Ball being played with at the midfield line. Knights finally able to break through. Felipe Oliveri runs to the loose ball on the far sideline, but he cannot find a teammate with his centering pass. Oh, what a strike. Great backspin on that ball, but the flag up as soon as the Knights got it, as that's the offsides flag. First of the second half. Cougars dangerously working that ball through the middle. It was almost costly. Here's something. Peace punches it away just in time. One-on-one play with him and the Cougars forward. Comes up a little worse for wear, but him and Peace both have a right to that ball. Tough break. Trainer coming out now here for the Cougars, as that was a beautiful pass. The Cougars have come alive here in the second half. And honestly, that play that we just saw seconds ago and the exchange between the two teams afterwards, that's what it's all about. Laying it all out on the field. Everyone 100% maximum effort. And let's shake hands afterwards. A beautiful display of sportsmanship afterwards as Peace goes over to make sure Cougars player is okay, and also I'm sure to play his part in the My Bad game. Cougars players doing the same, and action resumes. And it's not the last time we're going to see some of the rough stuff. Hope everybody is okay at the end of it, though. We have seen 2 players have to be helped off the field with the training staff. Never a sight you like to see here. Action not slowing down, as that's a beautiful through ball. Cutshaw has to play it with the foot as he catches it right at the entrance of the box. Heads up play by the goalie gives the Cougars defense enough of an opportunity to come back and get into position. Can they make the stop defensively? That's the question now. Knights searching for their third goal of the game, first of the second half. Trying to enter the box there with that pass. It's intercepted by the Cougars, and they send it all the way onto the other side of the field. This Cougars team 0-3 against Coach Fiedler's squad going back 2 years now. 2 matchups last year, one in the regular season and then one in the postseason. Both of them shutout victories for the Knights, as we see a little bit of a trip up about 5 yards outside of the box. So this will be a free kick for the Knights. Very interesting spot. Cougars had a couple of freebies in the second half. First time we're seeing this now for the Knights. About 6 yards outside of the box, 2 players over by the ball. Expect some trickery here. About 4 or 5 players set up on the wall here for the Cougars. So if this is a deflection situation, the Knights may have numbers crashing towards the goal. Big spot in the game unfolding right here in front of us. And that's wide of the net. So big spot in the game ends up being an uneventful spot in the game. As it is wide of the net and another missed opportunity. Those continue to pile up for the Knights, as it has been a long stretch without a goal, keeping the comeback hopes alive for the Cougars, at least for now. Cougars have found a couple extra steps, a couple extra gears here in this second half. Just not able to really flex them. Gone on a couple extra runs, but of course, nothing to show for it. And also, no shots on goal yet in the half, as we see a beautiful ball onto the other side. No Knights player can get to it, and no Cougars player can clear it. So it's right back on the merry-go-round. Knights looking for another attacking lane. Coming up short as that one is tackled away for a moment. Now searching for space in the middle. Knights trying to turn. And they were able to turn, but nothing but green jerseys in front of them. Playing keep away now. Switching fields with a couple of quick passes. And now back the way it came. And that will be a whistle. Referee wanted to play for advantage for a moment, you saw. Well, once it rolled onto the foot of a Cougars player, he said nay, nay. Knights trying to turn the corner. What a slide tackle. Cougars shutting the door on that attack for a moment. Now it'll be a corner kick for the Knights. Corner kick from the far sideline. Knights fans are ready to come alive here in the second half. Can the boys give them a reason to? Maybe they will, but it won't happen on that play, as that corner is sent away on the first touch by the Cougars. Possession stays here as it goes over the sideline. So the Knights still knocking on opportunity's door. Can they kick it down for the first time in the second half? Couple of nice dribble moves, but another nice tackle on the far sideline. Believe that's Nicholas Gussman once again. Back-to-back strong slide tackles from number 12 for the Cougars. stiff-arming this Knights offense just a little bit, slowing down the attack. Ball played over the sideline safely. Change of possession for the Cougars and a chance to take a little breath. Catch a little breather. It's a long stretch for them on their heels and with their backs firmly pressed up against the wall. A third goal could certainly be a dagger. I have a feeling that the next goal we see here in this game is going to be a game changer. Is it the goal that finally breaks this game wide open for the Knights, or is it the game or the goal that gets the Cougars right back into this game? Easy for me to say, even easier for the Cougars to do, as nothing has come easy for them. Knights. Things starting to come unraveled for them just a little bit here in the second half, as the opportunity is drying up for them just a bit. Cutshaw's been tested once or twice, but this Cougars defense is doing a much better job in the second half of keeping the ball in front of them and bending but not breaking. Cougars wanted the offsides call, does not come, but possession changes regardless, as it'll be a throw-in on the far sideline. Another example of what we were just talking about moments ago, with Cougars bending but not breaking defensively, not allowing that ball to get over their heads on the long pass. And this time, not allowing it to get past them on the cross. Deflection. The troops will rally, and they'll try and set up defensively and make another stop. Knights in position for another attack. Trying to find whatever they need to make it successful. That's a beautiful cross, and an even better job of climbing to the tippy top of the ladder. Felipe Oliveri, number 7, 5'7", but my oh my, he's got some serious hops. The sophomore out of Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Archbishop Curley, beating everybody to the ball, catching it at its highest point with the head ball, flicking it to a good spot, but just wide of the net. Had everything working, but could not get the final result to go his way. Breaks in the game maybe starting to go the way of the Cougars, as the Knights are continuing to pile up these missed opportunities. That is keeping the Cougars' comeback hopes alive. But they may be on life support here, as the Knights were inching closer and closer to a big scoring opportunity. Still very much on the doorstep of a scoring opportunity, as now it'll be another corner kick, far sideline, their 5th of the game. Something's got to give. Is the 5th time the charm here? On the far sideline, a lot of airtime, and Cutshaw punches it away, as the Knights had 1, 2, maybe 3 players ready to pounce on that opportunity. Knights go for the quick throw in, try and catch the Cougars napping, and they do for a moment. But the moment quickly passes. Cougars make the tackle, but all it is another corner kick opportunity. Now number 6, this one to the far post. Felipe climbing the ladder again, but cannot get the head on it this time. Another opportunity goes by for the Knights. Unable to capitalize. This game stays manageable for the Cougars. 2-0 on the big board as we approach 20 minutes played in the second half. Cougars comeback hopes alive, but on life support. Time not on their side. Cougars quickly onto the other side, playing for possession after the goal kick. One of the few times they found an easy clear and entry into their offensive zone. And they are looking to capitalize. They got a little pep in their step right now. Sure, they understand, just like we do up here in the broadcast booth, time not on their side, but still very much alive here in this one. One quick strike away from changing this game. Can they find that quick strike? Flip side to that coin, though, is the Knights. One quick strike away from putting the dagger in. A 2-goal deficit may already be too much here for the Cougars. A 3-goal deficit, I think that's all she wrote, maybe. But of course, just speculation from where we're sitting. Team's got to get it done on the field. And Cutshaw slamming the door as the boys in front of him were waiting for an offsides flag that maybe would have come, but hey, that's a big maybe. So you're saying there's a chance. Cougars coaching staff reminding the boys that there is indeed a chance. Knights putting the pressure on, getting close to entering the box with a couple of players ready to crash on the ball. Close but no cigar. Long pass onto the other side, all the way onto the other field. Knights can do nothing but clear it over the sideline. So that's possession for the Cougars deep in their offensive zone. Hustle gets you mighty far in life, and the hustle created this chance for the team in green jerseys. Can they capitalize on it? 26 minutes left in this game. That is all that separates these two teams from the final whistle. Knights finally finding the clear. What a one-on-one play at the midfield line, and they force the Cougars to commit the foul. He caught that cleanly and turned so well. Zen Shimano with a beautifully drawn up play as he caught that cleanly and showed off the muscles as he turned and went to turn on the Jets. Cougars players saw exactly what we saw. He said nay, nay. Heads up foul, so to speak. Don't really think about fouls in soccer the same way you do in basketball as out of just a heads up good team foul, but that may have been one of those moments right there as that ball was dangerously close to the end line. All for none as the Knights watch the Cougars take over possession. These two teams have played a full 20 minutes in the second half. Cougars have found a little bit of hope here in half number 2. Head coach for Frederick, Gary Hall, and his assistant, Randy Jarrett, watching his team put together a nice second half adjustment. Of course, not able to capitalize on it as the Knights still the only team with any opportunities in the second half. They're just not able to build on the lead they already have as we see another one go by the side of the Knights. It is another missed opportunity. That one a laser of a shot from, I believe, Felipe Alveri. And that will be a whistle against the Cougars. Possession stays right here with the Knights. About 10 yards into their offensive zone. What's the strategy here? Tom Schroeder is ready to put the boots to it. Beautiful pass from Schroeder again on a set piece. It was caught cleanly, but Cougars very quickly rallying to the ball and cutting off the space. Eventually cutting off the possession. Hot potato after the throw in. Knights grabbing it, but happy to work it backwards. They established the pace early in this game, and the Frederick Cougars have been unable to answer that pace. The Knights more than happy to play keep away. There's a beautiful pass. Can he turn the corner? Around one, and that's a save from Cutshaw. Not out of the danger zone yet, and there's the offsides flag. A beautiful pass up the near sideline. Leo Chester, the freshman from Shelbyville, Delaware, with a beautiful receive on the pass. Got around one defender, ripped a shot, only to be sent away once again by Casey Cutshaw. His 9th save of the day, and what would this game look like if it wasn't for the 6'6" sophomore in goal for the Frederick Cougars? Casey Cutshaw having himself a day. His highlight reel gonna end up on the desk of a coach at a 4-year school. As my dad used to say, "What you doing, son? Working on getting yourself a scholarship?" Casey Cutshaw doing just that. Couple of players out there on both sides doing just that. Knights with a beautiful ball in towards the center. Cutshaw has it play on him, and an awkward bounce, and he punches it away, but he does give a chance to the Knights. That awkward skip caught the big goalie by surprise. Won't be caught by surprise here. He knows what's coming. It's a corner for the Knights, and they're going for goal. Looking to find the dagger in the final 21 minutes. Short kick, one touch, splitting the uprights. And that'll count for 3 on Sunday, but nothing here today, as it is another missed opportunity for the Knights. Cougars hanging around. But the Knights right back on the merry-go-round as that ball's a boomerang. Shot! Goal! There it is! The dagger! Olivari Acosto, the freshman midfielder from Baltimore, Maryland, finding the back of the net. 3 unanswered goals for the Knights. In and around the defense and sending the ball home. What a game for the Knights. The Knights now 20 minutes and 42 seconds away from improving to 4-2 on the season. And they will, if they can hold on, improve to 3-1 at home this season, as the friendly confines, very friendly, as it's 2 in a row now. And that 3rd goal for the Knights was indeed what we thought. The one that breaks the game wide open, as quickly number 4 follows number 3. Leo Chester was sent away earlier in the second half. He will not be denied on that one. And excuse me, offsides is the call, I believe, finally on that one. So all for none. Sorry, Mr. Chester, they did take it away from you. 1 on the save and 1 from the flag on the sideline. Tough break for that man. There's always one moment during the season where we're all up here scratching our heads wondering, all right, well, I guess that's the call. Knights can afford to miss a few, I guess. Oh, my, no missing that one. As he showed ball, took it away, and then buried it into the back of the net once again. No doubt about number 4 this time around. Scary feet, scary feet, scary feet, scary feet. Quick feet of the Knights on display there as they had that ball in a tough spot. Got it into a better spot. Loaded the cannon. Buried it into the back of the net. 4 unanswered goals. Let's check that live stats on the CCBC Essex Athletics website. Find out who was the official goal scorer on number 4. And it's Zen Shimano. Zen Shimano, number 2 on the day. He got the scoring started back in the 7th minute. And in the 70th minute, easy for me to say, Zen Shimano gets his 2nd of the day. Tom Schroeder, the apple on that one. So I believe that's 4 goals from 4 different goal scorers. Or excuse me, 4 goals from 3 different goal scorers. Let's see. My math, never to be trusted. I didn't go to college. The math, though, all but done for this Knights team as the outcome now definitely certain. Knights will be improving to 4-2 on the year, and they will be dropping this Cougars team to 0-4-1 on the year. Had 2 separate teams coming into this Thursday doubleheader seeking their first win of the year. The Knights women's team able to do it. They got their first W in spectacular fashion, 10-0 beatdown. Frederick Cougars men's team not so lucky. They are on the receiving end of the beatdown. As we said in the first game, sometimes you are the buzzsaw and sometimes you get cut up by the buzzsaw. And here today, Frederick sliced and diced by this Knights soccer program. Oh, what an effort play, creating an extra opportunity, but he cannot walk the tightrope. So it wasn't an opportunity at the end of it all. Great effort, though, almost creating another go for goal. Don't expect the Knights to slow down offensively one bit here in this final 17 minutes. Goal differential could play a big factor in seeding when we come to the tournament. So when you get an opportunity to get a couple extra goals on the big board, it plays a factor. Especially in a season like this for Coach Fiedler's squad, where maybe not getting the results that they were expecting at the beginning of this year. 3-2 was not the record that they were expecting coming into this game, but putting that behind them with a big victory here today over the Cougars. A chance to hit the road and get 2 more victories after this one before they head back to the Castle in late September. Two games on the road again, upcoming. The first one next week, next Thursday, September 18th at College of Southern Maryland. And then after that, it will be Tuesday, the 23rd, against PG, Prince George's Community College. As we see the ball pinballing around the box, Knights searching for more offense. The next time you'll be able to see the Knights search for more offense here at the Castle after this one will be September 25th. That is against West Virginia Potomac State. Starting time for that one is 7 o'clock. So that is the next home game for this Knights men's team, and that is the beginning of a 3-game home stretch. What a time for them to come back to the Castle, as after that 3-game home stretch, it's only 7 more regular season games. So this upcoming stretch of games, a very important stretch for Coach Fiedler's squad, as they will be looking to put their best foot forward and really establish themselves as one of the teams to beat at this level. Under 15 minutes to play now, as the fans here at the Castle and you guys at home watching another great game here at CCBC Essex. Knights men's program 14 minutes and 30 seconds away from completing the sweep of the Frederick Community College Cougars. Cougars defense did a good job of not allowing that ball to go over their head that time and shielded the Knights away from the ball. Said it a few times in the first game, may have already said it here in the second game as well, but there's no stat for taking a good angle towards the ball, and really there should be. I don't know how you could judge that as a stat team or as a team on the sideline, but so many times good, strong defensive plays start from just taking good body position and taking a good, strong angle towards the ball. Either cutting off your opponent's space, cutting off the space in front of them, cutting off their driving lane to get to the ball, as we saw a moment ago, the Cougars player just using the body as a shield to not allow the Knights player to get to the ball. We've seen that more than a few times on both sides and in both games. So much of defense is effort. You hear coaches say that all the time, and sometimes effort is simply just the willingness to not be beat. As we see a nice blink and you missed it moment flash in front of our eyes for the Knights. One touch in towards a good goal scoring area, and then a laser of a shot that is just wide of the far post. You hear these stories of walk-ons at major schools coming in and making the team under amazing odds, and you wonder how that happens. I promise you, part of them making that team is being undeniable at the things that they can control. Refusing to be beaten to 50-50 balls, refusing to not hustle, refusing to go down quietly. Hustle will get you mighty far in life, and the hustle has been on display from the word go for this entire Knights soccer program, going all the way back to when we blew the whistle for the first time in game number 1. It is 14 unanswered goals for this soccer program, as the Knights have left no doubt. As The Rock used to say, layeth the smacketh down. Well, the smackdown has been laid here tonight. Knights up the near sideline, looking for space. Working a 3-man game, but the third leg of that 3-man game lost his legs. A little bit of the rough stuff on the near sideline. Change of possession. Or excuse me, no change of possession, as the Knights keep it right here on the freebie. Just over 10 minutes to play now, as nothing for the Knights after the whistle. Cutshaw easily grabbing that one. Oh my, what a pass. Can he get it? Chases it down, centers it for a teammate, but he will not get it. How about a second effort? Same result as it's deflected by the Cougars. Right place, right time, as I don't know if he even saw that shot, but it saw him. Cougars defense making the stand. The score remains 4-0. Knights looking for more offense, but happy to slow it down and work it back towards the back line. These long passes covering a lot of space. They have been a backbreaker here for this Cougars team. They've done a good job, more times than not, rallying the troops and getting into position and cutting off the angle at the last second, but just too many times they've been one step behind. And with nothing going offensively on the other side, all the Knights needed was one. And instead they got 4. There's a good fight for the ball, and then it went south once the second man joined. But initially, Cougars and Knights, just good old-fashioned body positioning. 2 players fighting for the ball, both of them having every right to it. The hustle still on display here in the final minutes. Knights playing it onto the far side of the box, and he's offsides. Too good to be true, because it was indeed not true. Offsides flag. A little sigh of relief there for the Cougars. They'll put the boots to it. Final 8 minutes has arrived. Evening has certainly turned to night here at the Castle, and we are under the stars, and it's a beautiful night for soccer here. I know you guys got a comfy seat at home watching the action, but come check out a game here at the Castle if you can, as the action is always spectacular on the field, and we got delicious chicken sandwiches in the stands as well, as our good friends at Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square always catering the action, except on Sunday, but you know the deal. Knights trying to find a little something, but Cutshaw, excuse me, sniffing it out. Coming off the line, making the save as the ball enters the box. Couple of seconds to spare. Cougars trying to turn the corner here. One-on-one play. Around one. And could not get around the second as the Knights make a sandwich. 2 Knights players crashing in on the ball. Great offensive movement started, I believe, from Gabriel Olivo. Indeed it was, number 6. Sophomore forward from Frederick, Maryland, by way of Oakdale High School. A nice initial move, but needed one more. That's been the story here for the Cougars. Close. Sometimes even dangerously close. But no cigar. Cougars slowing down at the midfield, waiting for something to open up. Finding space now on the far sideline. Having to slow down as they ran out of real estate and never had numbers on that break. And now they lose possession as they cannot walk the tightrope. Final 5 minutes and change is here. Beautiful pass towards space. Knights switching. Oh, Ventura around his second of the day. Both of them on plays where he beat the goalie. Ventura is putting on a dribbling clinic here today. Diego Ventura, the sophomore midfielder from Kensington, Maryland. His 4th of the season, 2nd of the day. Putting a little distance between himself and his teammates as those 4 goals sits him at the tippy top. Let's hit the live stats to confirm that that was Diego Ventura who got the score there. And indeed it was the 84th minute of this contest. Diego Ventura puts number 5 on the big board. The 5-time strike. Whistle brings play to a stop, but the clock will remain, as we'll run with a running clock for the rest of this contest. And we may have been running with a running clock already. I'm not sure. Didn't notice up until now. Knights quickly getting back on the merry-go-round. Oh, around one defender, and maybe I spoke too soon. But oh my, I guess he did eventually get around him. Chanor Cham, freshman midfielder from Bowie High School, trying to make the move around that last defender, getting tripped up in the process, and here is a late opportunity for the Knights. Looking to practice their free kicks here. And the fans, after seeing goals all day long, still waiting, hoping for the spectacular. Knights do not elect to practice their free kick, and they go for the short kick instead. Try and catch the Cougars napping. Cougars wide awake as they're ready to hit the bus at this point. 2 teams looking forward to that final whistle for 2 very different reasons. The Knights happy to get their 4th victory of the season. Cougars looking to put this one behind them and get to the practice fields. Even after a tough loss here like this, I think there's a lot for the Cougars to be happy about and be proud about coming out of this game. Every loss, yes, it's bitter. Yes, it's tough, but it's a learning opportunity, and there is so much to be learned in a game like this, not only X's and O's wise, but about yourself personally, as this Cougars team remained in this game through most of this contest. That 3rd and final dagger of a goal, well, maybe not final goal, but that 3rd dagger goal did not come until the halfway point of the second half. I mean, the comeback hopes were alive and kicking for this Cougars team through most of this second half. They hung around with the number 10 ranked team at this level. And yeah, they didn't get the result that they wanted. A lot to learn from here in this game, and a lot of season left for them as well. As remember, these 2 teams went and did battle twice last year, once in the regular season and once in the postseason. That certainly could be the case here this year as well. Cougars, just like the Knights, a lot of regular season in front of them, and a chance for them to be playing their best soccer when it matters most. One chance left for them in this game here to break the shutout, it seems, as this is a corner kick right in front of us. Good airtime on that towards the back post. Knights are there first, but they're not out of the danger zone. As it's not out yet, in the box, deflected, finally cleared. Oh my, the Knights players, coaches, and fans will steady the beating heart. The shutout alive and well a little longer. And now a whistle away from the ball. Cougars take over possession here, searching for one more opportunity offensively, trying to break the shutout in the final 20 seconds. Knights grabbing possession and sending the boots to it, as that is the last hoorah in this one. The clock seconds away from hitting triple zeros. The Knights grabbing the 5-0 victory here in this one, and it is a clean sweep of the Frederick Community College Cougars. The Knights 10-0 in game number 1, 5-0 in game number 2. Check out the CCBC Essex Athletics website for scores and stats for the team's upcoming road trip. And you can see us back here with soccer action once again on September 20th. Women's soccer starting at 2 o'clock. Aaron Thomas for the final time today saying good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And remember, fans, ELE, everybody love everybody. It's tough out there.